What's good, boys? If you want to gain 20 pounds of muscle in under 2 months without gaining any fat, keep watching this video. It's very educational. And we're using my client Dwayne, for example. He went from 180 to 200 in simply under 8 weeks. So keep watching. Hope you enjoy. Comment what you took away from the video. Peace.
Early stages of when we first started talking, and you were like, what's causing you to consistently go to the gym, or what's stopping you? And I would say work. I would say not sleeping a lot and stuff like that. But like now, and a lot of that came from just not seeing progress. Even when I would go to the gym, I just wouldn't see anything. So a lot of times I would be going there, and like I said, not knowing what to do, and then just doing different machines, just doing working this on there, doing this, trying this machine, trying that machine, and just working on different parts of my body, but like not really having nothing to really stick with for myself, and not knowing what the foods to eat. Like I said, just going. I used to think Chipotle was the route because of the stuff they give, but it's like I didn't even know ground beef was really the route, and I'm always in the
Yeah.
grocery store. You know what I mean? So it's just I've learned a lot just by you, you know, just giving me the knowledge that I didn't always have. New version of myself. Other people are noticing it too. That's what makes me feel more like confident, and not even confident, but just feel good about myself. And other people notice my work and my hard work that I'm putting into the change into myself.
To gain 20 pounds simply in under 8 weeks. Now, anybody can do this, yes, but there are certain action steps, certain requirements that you have to execute on in order to really gain 20 pounds of lean muscle in under 2 months, which my client Dwayne did, which we're about to go over in this video, which is pretty fucking disgusting. So, but I was Chipotle, McDonald's, right? He tried to bulk up off fast food. He tried to do all these things, right? And doing this, like when any like typical kid tries and bulks, they eat how they feel like it, right? And I used to eat how I felt like it too, but like eating how you feel like it, you don't eat to a certain requirement. Was to stay in like a 200 to 300 calorie surplus, right? But he couldn't have done this spending money on Chipotle, McDonald's, fast food, all these foods. But the thing was though, is not only that he couldn't count these calories eating Chipotle, but he also couldn't really spending money on beef the way he wanted to, right? So he was spending 20, 25 bucks on a Chipotle meal, and he'd have his breakfast and that'd be it. Just because he enjoyed Chipotle so much and he thought he could sustain eating that, spending more money on that versus actually cooking his own food and eating the ground beef. And it's crazy because a lot of you guys go out to eat so much every single day, then you wonder why you don't see the gains you want to see, and you just simply spam Chipotle after every single workout and think that's going to actually do something for you. And in reality, you're not eating at a nutrition target, right? So for most people, it's probably about like in order to see a pound weight gain a week is probably like a 300 to 400 calorie surplus. Now, if you want to gain like 2 pounds a week, it's probably around like 500 to 600 calories. Now, yes, you do have to like monitor this so you may don't gain fat, but you do have to stay in this much of a surplus. And so Dwayne, before he wasn't confident, right? Depressed, lazy, negative minded. And he was negative minded because he always thought nothing would go well in his way. And taking that mindset into every situation, you're going to get the same outcome in every situation, right? And he didn't think nothing was going to work out for him, and that just reflected in all areas of his life. Because at the end of the day, like it wasn't working out for him. He was depressed. He wasn't getting any girls. He didn't like who he was. He didn't have respect from anybody. He didn't understand why his life the way it was going, right? And so what we did when we first met, I told him he can't count calories just trying to eat Chipotle, right? You can't count calories trying to eat whatever you want to eat. Now, it's cool to enjoy life and have those as a cheap meal, yes, but you can't eat that way if you really want to gain muscle and have it actually stick so you can sustain it, right? And so, what we did is that we set the requirement, right? We were working out in an apartment gym. And now apartment gyms are not bad, but when you only have dumbbells that go up to 50, limited machines, you don't have everything that you possibly need in order to have the best workout possible. It limits you a lot, right? It limits what you can do, how you can operate, and what honestly, how heavy you honestly need to go. And so he couldn't really go heavy. He couldn't really do exactly what he needed to do. And so by this, his gains were limited, which led back to him having this exact physique. And this isn't like a horrible physique or anything, but as you see, there's so much room to improve, right? So what we did is that we implemented Whole Foods. We went right to the ground beef, to the steak, the shit that's actually gonna stick after you eat it. Unlike the artificial protein, unlike the mass gainers and shit that only absorb 75%. That you only absorb 75%. Now, mass gainers, those aren't bad foods. Artificial protein isn't horrible, but if you use that as the main source of your protein, then you're not going to see the weight gain stick, right? And I used to do this a lot too because I was spamming 3 protein shakes a day, but it never stick because I'd always just be spamming those and relying on those to hit my protein targets. And the weight gain just would not be there, right? I see a little fat gain. I wouldn't shit. I'd always be bloated. I hated the way I felt just trying to spam protein shakes to hit my nutrition targets. And so what we did on top of implementing whole foods, right? We implemented creatine. Now there's a difference between HCL and monohydrate, right? Monohydrate is obviously for a faster weight gain, and you're gonna faster muscle gain, but it draws more water to your blood cells. But HCL is more for like lean mass water retention. So I definitely recommend HCL on the cut. But in this case, trying to just gain muscle and get stronger and more confident within ourselves. We went right on the monohydrate. Then we're switching to HCL. And so we actually started going heavy in the gym as well. Now, a lot of people like are scared to like go heavy. Now, for your first 2, 3 weeks, like you should make sure, like if you're like a beginner, you want to make sure you get the standards down. You want to make sure you get the movements down, but it's going to get to a point where like, okay, you're stimulating the muscle and it feels too easy, right? It feels too easy. So you got to keep going heavy. You got to keep going heavy till it gets harder on earlier reps. And so that's what happened. Once he started to get hard on earlier reps, he just started to really fall in love with the process of the grind, with the love of the game of going heavy. And because when you go heavy, you give yourself this consistent challenge, right? Not only physically, but mentally, right? Mentally, it makes you mentally stronger. It makes you mentally overcome real tasks that happen in real life. It makes you simply just push past things that you didn't even know you were capable of. And it's all mental, right? Like I know like a lot of you guys may be struggling to go heavier, push that extra last few reps of whatever weight that you don't think you can get. Like it's all really mental. Unless your body's physically giving out, like you can push past those last few reps. You just can't let your mind limit you when you get there, no matter what your body says, right? Because your mind is more powerful than your body will ever be. And so with that being said, we did sometimes go last set to a failure, but we mainly went heavy. And this gave his muscles a real reason to grow. Because once that happened, we released the output in his head and we just went straight on the input, straight on all the going heavy, straight just staying consistent. We're not really caring about the physique, just more caring about the mental benefits that he was gaining from it every single day, and which just motivated him, right? This motivated because every man should love a challenge, no matter what, right? No matter what you go through, no matter how you go. Every man should love a challenge because this is what makes you who you are, and the way you go about it really determines what you are, right? So it's not always about getting what you want fast. It's about making real progress, and that's what we did when you implement whole foods, when you implement a real structured plan and routine, so you can actually reach a goal and sustain that, right? And so week one, he was like going to his apartment gym before that. He was trying to get some gains, which is like this isn't like a horrible physique once again, but look at like the kind of like the way like it looks, right? Versus like just being up 10 pounds in a month. Like you can already see the difference from going heavy, filling out more from eating whole foods, eating ground beef, steak, all the meats and eggs that he was supposed to eat. And that way, like his posture is different versus just not being as confident within himself. You know what I'm saying? From this one to this one, this is when we start to like really go heavy and push more weight. And when we start to push more weight, it just felt like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Almost felt like he could overcome and do anything he wanted to do, and he had this confidence from him that just couldn't be taken away. And once you take that confidence, that mental toughness into every workout, it's like all right, what's gonna stop me? Like realistically, and that's how he's going throughout life right now. Because this one, he was like depressed at work, like he didn't think nothing was going well for him. Now he sees everything in life as a positive thing, and that's the mental shift that you want to have when you gain muscle, when you get stronger, when you do things that you didn't thought you could do but you achieve them, right? You see them happening right before your eyes. And so this is the chart, just like for more proof in the pudding. Like he went from June to July was crazy, right? He was already up the first 10 pounds, but after from July to August, beginning of August, it's 200 right there. And the big difference was that from here to here, we didn't just like stay with the same like 200, 300 surplus, right? We added in egg, nah, fuck we added in 2 to 300 more calories just to make sure that he wouldn't plateau at 190, right? Because a lot of you guys would have got up this 10 pounds and maybe would have plateaued. No, we said fuck that. We just kept going and upped his diet so that way he kept gaining more muscle and more muscle over time. That way he has the physique he has now, looking good, jacked arms, big chest, abs coming in. And one of the things was that his appetite did play in the picture of this, but like the way we did that was that when you eat whole foods, it numbs all your cravings, right? So you go eat shitty food after you already eating food that's good for you. You don't want to go numb yourself after you already eating like ground beef and sauces with the ground beef and rice because it already tastes good because you're already seasoning it the way you want to and you're already putting the sauces on it. That's going to make it enjoyable so you can go back to that meal every time you get hungry. Now, there's nights he did do chicken, right? There's nights he did do steak. You can switch it up to make it sustainable, right? And we making it sustainable will make him have this weight on forever, and he will not drop below 200 pounds. But it's more the fact of it being a lot of you guys, even if you do get up some pounds, you can't sustain it because you don't find eating enjoyable, right? It's gonna be enjoyable for you guys because you're only gonna do 2 meals. That way, you fast, you have your first meal, then you have enough appetite to actually finish that first meal all in one sitting. Okay, then you have your fruits, you have your carbs before your workout, which we did. Then you're gonna have your second meal after your workout because you're gonna go so hard in your workout, you're gonna feel more and more hungry after. And so that's exactly what we did in this. Because when you eat 2 meals, it makes it so much more fulfilling and it numbs the cravings. You don't even want to go eat at night after you already split all your calories, the bulk, only in 2 to 3 meals. And so, with that being said, it only takes 2 meals, right? A lot of you guys try and overcomplicate this and just make it some type of bulking, some type of hard task. Now, yes, it can get a little hard. Crazy because he had fast metabolism too, right? He thought he couldn't do this because he said his metabolism was so fast. Now he's 34 having fast metabolism problems. I had fast metabolism problems when I was like 22. And I mean I was like 21. And like it's crazy because like I didn't really understand like why I couldn't gain weight till I realized I wasn't eating to like a certain standard. And once we set those standards, okay, this is how you got to eat. Fast metabolism just like all of a sudden just like happened to play to his favor because he put on all the weight right here and didn't really put on weight in his stomach. 20-pound muscle gain in simply under 2 months. Now, any of you guys can achieve this, but if you need help or structure actually achieving this goal, shoot me a DM on Instagram. My link will be below, or book a call with me below so we can actually discuss how you can gain 20 pounds of muscle or lose 20 to 30 pounds or whatever physique and mindset goal that you have. Love you, boys. Stay blessed.
Music licensing reimagined.